TC is easy, by the way. You could just shorten it. TC.
TC.
Yeah, TC.
Okay, Pastor TC.
Yeah,
that's easy.
Yeah.
You come from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
What is the culture like in Zimbabwe, Pasi?
It's a mix. Zimbabwean culture is a bit like it's a mix of. It has a politeness like Tanzania, but it also has very open like Nairobi. Yeah.
Are you sure open is a word, or you're modest?
Yeah, I would say open. It's a mix of many things.
Okay, it's closer to Zambia, no? In
absolutely,
a way.
Absolutely.
Okay. You guys have how many tribes? Because that makes sense.
We have 2 official tribes.
Okay.
2 tribes.
That's Shona
and then Dembele.
Yeah. And you can do a bit of how do you say that?
It depends. It's actual language. Like for instance, a knife will be ingamu. Ingamu.
Can you do that, Sadiq?
Ingamu. Don't hurt yourself.
Anyway, we are with Pastor Statenda Chikwekwe from Zimbabwe. He is a youth pastor at Karura Chapel, Community Chapel, and just sharing about new beginnings and understanding what new beginnings. And the question we're asking is, where do you start? Where do we start from? And I want to ask you, Pasi, we've talked about starting point. And sometimes we ask ourselves, other people will say pray, other people will say, go back to the word. But practically, how do you start? Especially if you're stuck in the mud. How do you start practically?
I think one of the things I learned from a book called Principle of the Path, it's something that because new beginning is about change. This is what the book basically talks about. You should read it if you haven't. It says, for instance, most Christians, you see, if you head this way, if you head west, this road leads you to Naivasha, Kisumu, and so forth. Yes. They say most Christians are going west, going to Naivasha, but they're praying for God to take them to Mombasa. But the road they're on, it takes them to Naivasha and to Kisumu. So he says, in this book, it says, your direction, not your intention, determines where you end up.
Your direction, not your intention,
determines where you end up. Because we could pray all we want.
That's true.
But as long as the direction of your life leads to a certain way,
that's where you will head.
So you need to start, you need to think of the direction of your life. You know how they say you don't decide your future, but your habits decide your future.
True.
So you need to start from there to say, okay, how I'm living my life, how I'm working up my spiritual life, my habit life, my relational life, my integrity, who I'm hanging around with, where am I going to end up? Because in the end, like we're saying offline, you can't pray your way out of things you behaved your way into, especially and things like that. How then do you discipline your way out of those things? Say practically, this person, this is where they lead me to this habit. Listening to this kind of music, watching this kind of TV, engaging in this kind of activity. This is where I'll end up. Because if you want to have meaningful relationships with people, yet you're not honest or you're not pure, then you're just going to end up in the same place that you're in. So I think people need to learn to know how to change. Change is a spiritual activity that we do prayerfully through the Spirit, but there's a practical responsibility you have to take.
Wow. It's about choices.
Absolutely.
And I liked what Pastor alisema hapa asubuhi. He had gotten into drugs, but until that day he said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not going to do this anymore. Yes, I've been prayed for. I am born again. Yes, I can but anajipata hapo. Until he said, you know what? I am tired. I am turning around and I'm going this direction. And that's when things change even for him. So that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
What about issues of the environment? Because the environment actually determines a lot of things about us. Yes, you're saying you're changing, you're starting afresh, but you're still right there.
Yeah.
Is there going to be real change in that situation?
I think not. And I think people underestimate how much the environment influences their own lives and the direction of their own lives. I mean, when you say environment, you're obviously talking about people.
That's
You're
right.
not talking about the green earth.
No. No, it's about the people
So
around
it's
you.
association. Here's what the Bible says. I think the Bible is everything.
That's true.
The Bible pretty much is everything. It says, whoever associates with the wise become wise,
True.
but the company of fools will what? Will suffer harm.
Destroyed.
This is what it means. You could be wise in your own eyes and say, you know what, I'm okay, my friends do this, but I don't do that. I'm in that environment, but I'm not influenced. Here's a situation. You're a sober guy. Your friends drink. You go out drinking with them. You don't actually drink. You take a Fanta. But at the end of the night, your drunk friend drives, and then they're in an accident, and then you're injured. So you have suffered because of the company of fools.
Right.
And that's what the Bible says. I mean, your environment is really, really important to make sure that you have changed your association. But environment is also, the kind of things you expose yourself to. And for young people, it could be what you watch, it could be music, it could be the negativity that has been I mean, if you're going to overcome some habits, if you're struggling with your purity, there's no way you're going to listen to Rihanna the whole day and you're stuck in the environment you're creating yourself. Is not enabling and helping your new beginning, the resolution you had to actually make a new beginning. So you want to change your life, change your environment. I mean, that's half the battle won.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage in, garbage out.
What you put in is what goes
Absolutely.
out. So
Absolutely.
put in the right content. I mean,
Absolutely.
Foundations, and those are foundations, good foundations, even as you begin
Definitely.
afresh.
Definitely.
Wow. Unaona?
Profound.
Profound. Kumbe unajua kimombo Sikujua.
Sawa.
We'll be coming back with Pastor Statenda just as we wind up, and he'll get to pray together with us. The people who are out there, you want to receive Christ and start a new I'm sure you've actually seen the practical steps of what you need to do even after that. So we get to pray together as we wind up this. Don't go away. Tunaenda wapi, Daddy?
Tunaenda Zimbabwe.
Iko muziki ya kule, sio?